You are caught in a time loop, but instead of resetting you daily, it resets you every 30 years. I assume I was born like this. Some cycles I've called it a curse. Others, a mutation. The terminology doesn't matter. There's no one to discuss it with. There have been instances where I tried to tell someone, tried to get help, and the years spent in institutions before resetting were long and trying. On my 30th birthday, at the exact time I took my first breath, I reset back to that moment. I have lost count how many times I've spun on this wheel. The early years are confusing, and even though I'm aware of what is happening, it's hard to hold on to the specifics that come more into focus as I age. My newborn brain is capable of storing the memories, but not developed enough to process them. It is a disturbing feeling of understanding what I am, but being trapped in a smaller mind unable to articulate it even to myself. These early years are always best spent sleeping and focusing on traditional milestones, as trying too hard to become my older self too early causes frustration, and the label of problem child. Sometimes I spend my youth playing dumb. Sometimes I'm a prodigy. There is enjoyment in being a child again, but certain aspects feel tedious. How long do I have to pretend to not know the alphabet? Must I really make friends with these kids I'll never speak to again later in life? The same problem follows me into my teens. Why date when I can't, or shouldn't, marry? Have kids? There is freedom in a life replayed, but also complacency. It can be fun to enjoy the wild years of high school and college over and over, and depressing to know that while others are molding themselves for a future, I am just waiting for my past. On my first cycle I was blissfully unaware of my situation. I felt all the feelings most get to enjoy, and experienced all of the hardships that for others are permanent milestones. When my father passed away when I was 19, I gave up on things. School, friends, dating. I saw no reason to strive for things that disappear. Now, even though I saved my father, stop him from driving that night, each time, I still feel the same. This cycle I have done things differently. Not for any reason other than boredom. Yet, while I started this path to experience something new, I am now terrified to lose what I've gained. At 21 I met a girl in college. We dated, then she moved across the country after graduating, and though I should have moved on as I had countless other times, I felt a pull. I ignored it for 2 years, then messaged her, then spent night after night talking with her on the phone. I went to visit her. I stayed longer than planned. I moved. At 27 we got married. It was the best weekend of my existence. We've built a life. I've tried to put out of my mind what is coming, but now it is 7 minutes until the reset. It is early morning, 3:47. She is sleeping upstairs, and I am sitting in the kitchen. I spend a minute crying, then consider going and laying next to her for the rest of the time I have. Last night she told me she is pregnant. By the time I get up the stairs and back into bed my time is almost gone. I hold her, and she presses into me, and I can tell she is smiling without even seeing her face. I close my eyes. Try to just enjoy the moment. I tell myself that I can repeat this cycle, that I can make this happen again. I look for my phone, startled, as I wake up. She notices my panic, and asks what's wrong. I tell her I fell asleep, and she doesn't understand what that means. I ask her what time it is. She checks her phone, and tells me it's 6:23. I kiss her, and know that she thinks I'm just being strange because I found out we're having a baby. And I've just found out I'm having a baby. I put my hand on her stomach, and pull both of them close, and as I hold them I consider what this means, and what the future of my final cycle might be.